What's up, YouTube? Today's October 7th, 2019, Monday, and I'm gonna make a video, record a video. I feel like I have something that at least one of you are going to find interesting, or maybe it's going to give you an idea of something that you might be thinking about as far as like large caps or how to improve what you're already doing. And just gonna give you a quick rundown of the things that I've changed in the past 3 weeks, and that um, I I truly believe that this is going to take my trading to the next level. So first off, real quick, I took one trade. Well, I took a few trades today, but as you guys already know, I only trade Facebook and the SPY, but 90% I would say it's Facebook. So on Facebook, real quick, I want to make this too long. Um, on Facebook, real quick, what I was watching was this level right here. It's a very important level, as you guys can see. This is a daily chart, and you see how like when it crossed, it came, it rejected here, and then it pushed up, and then it gapped up. So this is a very important level, and I know that I had this in mind this morning, and I knew that once if this thing holds, Facebook is going to push. Even though I went short today on almost all my trades, I still had this in mind, right? So and this is part of what I've changed, or what I've added to my strategy. Before, I would just look at the daily and the 1 minute, and I felt like I was there was a lot of pieces to the puzzle that I was missing, right? A lot of missing pieces, and by me adding a few extra charts, it really just put everything together for me, at least. So on the 1 minute, as you guys can see, I'm a very artistic when it comes to trading. Especially in large caps, you you're gonna see a lot of this stocks tend to respect channels, wedges, and whatnot. So these are things that with time I've witnessed, and I saw, and I implement them with my trading. So um, fast forward, this morning, what I was watching was a right here, like I said, um, the, Friday. Friday, it was pushing up, and then right here, pre-market, it it broke this channel, and then it came down, and it was just a stall here, and at the same time, it was kind of making like a channel coming down. So what I was watching was this channel here. If we go to the 5 minute, you're able to see a little better here that we have this wedge here, right? And this is part of one of my strategies that I use. Um, I want to see a rejection of this to go short and just take advantage, just a quick short um, trade, right? Almost I call it a chase short trade, and that's exactly what happened this morning. Uh, right at the market opened, it opened right here, it pushed up, and it immediately got rejected. I shorted here. My stop was literally like 5 ticks above this candle here, and as it was pushing down, I was paying myself, and this right here was my last profit taking right here. And so, the other strategy that the other once I stopped out here as it was pushing up, the other trade that I have is a push up to this level, and I sure did shorted right here, and it kind of worked. My first profit taken was right below here. I was also aware that I usually like a push up like this. Had this gone like parabolic and just hit this level, it would have been really, really nice. But I was aware of this, just because it was now at this point, this is not like an A plus setup because it's making higher highs and higher lows. I shorted nonetheless as it came down, and it held man higher low, and it was just like coming up, coming up. I had my stop, hard stop right here, and it stopped me out. So at this point, I'm like, okay. As this thing pushes up, and then it went parabolic. Um, I'm pretty sure squeeze and short squeeze here. As it went parabolic, I shorted here. My stop was literally right up here, 181.29, and it comes down, it pushes up, it comes down, it almost hits my first target, and then it just didn't do it. As it pushes up, I added this is like I said, it's part of my strategy as well. I added my stop was right instead of here. My stop was like right on top of this last candle, and then it comes down and it just takes my first profit taking, second, and as this coming down, um, I pay myself the last right here. And the reason why, even though, like I said, even though it was all short, right? This was the last level of resistance for Facebook. That's number one. Number two, the reason why I pay myself everything here was because, like I said, this is a level that I know there's going to be. Um, this is a level right here that I know there's going to be a lot of support. And I know there's going to be a lot of buyers defending that level, right? So this is going to be a key level for tomorrow. But as you guys can see, as the market came down to this level, just pushed up, and yeah, it's down below now. But that was my thesis, and that's what I wanted to take advantage of. And these are the executions here, uh, right? First trade, second trade, stopped out right away. Third trade, added, took profits, and I just took profits all the way along. So that was the trade that's what I traded today. But what I want to say is, shit, I forgot what I was gonna say, what I was gonna talk about. Uh, oh yeah. So last week I got my ass handed to me. I had the biggest week, the biggest losing week of the entire year. And it's not like, wow, you lost it all. No. It was I had 2 days. Actually I didn't trade Monday. I didn't have no trades Monday, but Tuesday and Wednesday were small win days, and then Thursday and Friday I took max daily losses on both days, and that's what made it my max my biggest losing week. Um, Today I recoup a half of that. But my point is, I like I said, I added what I did was I've been doing a lot of back testing in the last 3 4 weeks, and there was this play that I will lose over and over again, right? I will go against the trend, and I will maybe short against the trend, or I will go long when the trend was pretty strong coming down, and I would say like 60% of my losses were coming from those two plays. And so what I wanted to look for a strategy, or not a strategy, but a way to kind of avoid, right? I was not looking for to add more trades, but at the same time I was, because I know that once I find what I'm doing wrong, once I find that thing that I'm missing, um, all I have to do is reverse engineer. And if I'm losing one trade, I just pretty much flip it around, and a lot of times that becomes your most profitable trade. And that's basically this is it right here. The trade that I took today on Facebook. This one here. But so what I did, I went back and I did a few things. And last week I didn't train my strategy at all. Like I felt like I found what I was doing wrong, and I implemented. But what I did, I added more than what I had to. Like I added more shit to my to the point where like I wasn't even trading my levels. I wasn't trading anything. All I was focusing on was this magical new strategy that I found, and you know it just really messed with my head. I didn't know what I knew what I was doing, but it was just too much because I had conflicting um, thoughts, right? Yeah, I'm trading this strategy that I've never traded before, and in my head, I've been trading the same way for a while. So in my head is like, what the fuck? Like this is not what I should be doing. It was kind of going against what I know, right? So long story short, I feel like that's the reason why I had a lot of losses. And I know a lot of people say that you don't go broke taking profits, but for me, I think you do, and I did because I was covering too soon. I didn't know where I was where to take profits, and what happened was that like I said, I even though I had two winning days and two losing days, my stop losses were you know fully losses, and my take profits I was making good trades, but I was still losing. So what I did this weekend, I kind of went back and I implemented what I've learned, and I just added to my strategy. And you might ask what is it that you changed? Well, one, I really came up with a strategy um, to incorporate different time frames into my into my trading. Number two, I I added two more strategies to where instead of for example, instead of going short on a parabolic, I know that that it's a long instead of like it's a little complicated, like almost like a breakout and breakdowns, and you know, and all comes from the daily. So um, yeah, that's what I did, and the main thing that I learned is that as you improve your strategy, don't try to change it. Like, don't try to change the strategy. Try to, if you find two or three things to improve the strategy that you already have, add that one thing at a time. You know, maybe you add one thing, and just add it to whatever you're doing for a week or two, and then see how you feel. Because on paper it could sound it could look good because that's what happened to me. But when you trade it, like you really have to have a strategy that you're able to handle mentally, right? And I couldn't handle the changes that I made. So it's not just how it looks on paper, it's how you feel when you trade it. And if you try to change two or three or four things at once, yeah, man, it's gonna be complicated. It's gonna be hard for the brain to process it. So yeah, that's it. That's why this is the whole purpose of this video to kind of you know if you're going through that the same process, yeah, just take it easy, one thing at a time, and things will work out. Later, guys.